Welcome dear students. Good morning to one and all. Okay. So in our last class, we had discussed the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction and then Lenz's law. So why we use the negative signs in the Faraday's law? In Faraday's law, the induced EMF is minus d by dt. Okay. So what is the importance of the negative sign? And that idea given from the Lenz's law. And then experimental verification of Lenz also we have seen. Okay. Now we are going to study about the Fleming's right hand rule. Already left hand rule is used to verify the force for the current carrying conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field. So the Fleming's left hand rule is used to verify the force of a current carrying conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field. Now we are going to verify the Fleming's right hand rule. So the right hand rule is used to check the induced EMF. So to find the direction of induced current or induced EMF. Induced EMF or current. According to this right hand rule, this is our right hand. Okay, stretch the first three fingers. We have 5 fingers in our hands. This is a thumb. This is 4 finger. Okay, F-O-R-E, Alcott viral. Okay, our index finger, and this is a central finger. Okay, so stretch the first 3 finger of your right hand such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay, we have stretched the first 3 finger of our right hand such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. So the angle between this thumb and the index finger is 90 degree. Similarly, the angle between the index finger and the central finger is 90 degree. Okay. After stretching this, first the 4 finger points direction of the magnetic field, and the thumb finger points the direction of the motion of the conductor in the magnetic field, and the central finger points the direction of induced current. Okay. So what is the law? So it is stretch the first 3 finger of your right hand, first 3 finger of your right hand such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. How this 3 finger is? Such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. But we should not change the order. Then what is the first? I said the 4 finger or index finger. Then the 4 finger indicates 4 finger or index finger. The 4 finger indicates what it indicates. 4 finger indicates the direction of magnetic field. And thumb finger indicates the direction of motion of conductor, and then the central finger, the middle finger, the central finger indicates the direction of induced current. Central finger indicates the direction of induced current or induced EMF. The direction of induced EMF or induced current. Okay. So the left hand rule is used to verify the direction of induced EMF. This rule is used to verify the direction of induced EMF in generator. So that we are going to discuss in the 7th chapter, upcoming chapter. Okay. So now it's enough to know up to this alone. And the aim of the left hand rule is used to find the direction of induced EMF. This is not a working principle. Many of you have confusions. They are actually the Fleming's left hand rule and right hand rule both the rules are used to verify the directions alone. But some of you have a confusion. They think that these rules are the working principle. This is not at all a working principle. Using these fingers, we can verify the force in the left hand. And using this right hand fingers, we can verify the direction of the induced EMF. So this is not at all a working principle. So don't get confusion. Okay. Next topic is how many ways we can induce or we can produce an EMF. That is various methods in producing EMF. So the various methods in producing EMF. Various methods in producing EMF. What is the EMF? Electromotive force. Okay. In the first one, already we have discussed from Faraday's and Henry experiments. By changing the magnitude of what? Magnetic field. From whose experiment? From Michael Faraday and Henry. From Faraday and Henry. So according to Michael Faraday and Henry, whenever the magnetic flux linked with the coil changes, an EMF is induced. So the relative motion between the magnet and the coil, an EMF is induced in a circuit is called induced EMF, and the corresponding phenomena is called electromagnetic induction. So that is the first method in producing the EMF. Okay, we have discussed the three experiments from Faraday and Henry. Can you remember what the first experiment? From the first experiment, there is a coil. It is connected to the galvanometer. Initially the galvanometer is at rest. Now you choose the north pole of the bar magnet. The north pole have a link with this coil. So whenever the north pole is introduced, the EMF in the coils are induced. So the galvanometer gets deflection towards the right side. If you take away the galvanometer outside, the deflection also in opposite direction. So the flux before inserting it is pi 1. While inserting, the flux change to pi 2. It takes a time t. So within a particular time, what is the flux change? That is proportional to the amount of EMF induced. If you move the magnet very fast inside the coil, the deflection also very fast. If you increase the more number of turns of the coil, then the EMF also high, because in each turns the EMF is added, so the total EMF from drawn from the coil is larger. Okay, so this is the first one from Faraday's experiment. Whenever the magnet is linked with the coil changes due to the relative motion between the magnet and the coil, an EMF is induced. Okay, then the second one, what is the second experiment? Take a long insulating frame, one side high coil, high turns of the coil, it is connected to the galvanometer as usual. Near that, another one small coil is connected to the battery. Okay, when the battery is switched on, immediately you can notice that the galvanometer goes to one side deflection and comes to 0. This is the momentary deflection. So the galvanometer deflected towards which side? Left side, because this side positive becomes south pole, this is negative, it is north pole. So the field lines, south pole field lines approaching, which means attractive force. Due to the attractive force, the EMF is induced in this direction. So galvanometer deflection is opposite to that direction of the induced EMF. Note it, it's a very important thing. The direction of the current is always opposite to the direction of the EMF. Okay, always opposite to the direction of electrons. If you reverse the terminals, then the deflection also reversed. Then third one, we are using a tap key. While you are using the tap key, while you are pressing the tap key, the deflection in this side, but by removing, the deflection is opposite side. By continuous pressing, the deflection also found. So this is the conclusions made from Faraday and Henry about the electromagnetic inductions. So we can produce the EMF from the Faraday and Henry experiments. How? By changing the magnitude of magnetic flux or magnetic field from the experiment. Then the second one, by changing the area A, how can you change the area? That is by shrinking or stretching, or changing the shape of the field, or changing the shape of the coil. Okay, how sir? Listen, it's a very simple activity. We have the uniform magnetic field. This is a uniform magnetic field, that is a cross field. In this, we have a rectangular conductor PQRS. So here PQ, R and S. On this rectangular frame, the PQs is movable, which can easily free to move to and fro on this frame. So on the total frame, the PQ alone movable, having the length L. This segment, this conductor movable segment, when it is moving in perpendicular to the magnetic field, what happens? In this PQ segment of the conductor, the electrons are moving from P to Q. Now electrons reach here. So to replace the electrons, the corresponding positive charge is induced there. Okay. So the direction of the electrons from clockwise. So the corresponding current induced in the circuit, and additionally we attach the galvanometer here. So this is the direction of the induced current. So the galvanometer shows deflections. What is the direction? A galvanometer shows the deflection. So this is the direction of the induced current, and the electron is opposite to the direction. So here the cross indicates the uniform magnetic field, which is directed perpendicular to the plane of the paper. So it's into the plane. Suppose the board வந்து ஒரு paper plane imagine பண்ணிக்கங்க. அந்த ரீஜன்ல magnetic field entry ஆகுது. அதுக்கு perpendicular என்ன வச்சிருக்கோம்? ஒரு conductor வச்சிருக்கோம். So yes, this is the concept. See, this is the magnetic field, and this is the direction of the conductor moving with the velocity. So what happens? This is the direction of the electron. So the conventional current is opposite to it. So if you move the movable conductor very faster, then the deflection in the galvanometer also high. So the mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. So this is the concept. By changing the area, this is the area enclosed. By changing the area, how? By shrinking or stretching or changing the shape of the coil. So the rectangle in the square shape. Already rectangle in the square shape. If they changing the shape of the coil. So by shrinking or stretching or changing the shape of the coil. So here, this is the direction of the current, and this is the direction of induced current. This is the direction of current. This is the direction of current, and the electron direction is this. This is electron direction, because electron is in clockwise. The electron moves in a clockwise, but the conventional current moves in anti-clockwise. Okay, so this we are going to discuss in the coming topic. Then third one, the third method to produce the induced EMF, by changing the angle. By changing the angle between the magnetic field and normal to the surface area. And normal to the surface area. Okay, that is, we can say that change in relative orientation, change in the relative orientation of a surface area of coil, of a surface area A of a coil and the magnetic field in the region. Okay, so even we can change the angle between the magnetic field and normal to the normal to the surface area. அப்போ ஃபீல்டுக்கும் ஏரியாவுக்கும் நடுவான இருக்க ஆங்கிள் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணாலும் என்ன ஆகும், நமக்கு EMF இன்டியூஸ் ஆகும். So these are the three ways to induce the EMF. First one from Faraday and Henry experiment. Second one, we are changing the area by shrinking or stretching or changing the shape of the coil. And third one, we can change the angle between the magnetic field and normal to the surface area. So on the rectangle நம்ம எடுத்துட்டு அந்த லூப் அந்த கண்டக்டரோட ஏரியாவுக்கும் அது வச்சிருக்க மேக்னெட்டிக் ஃபீல்ட் வச்சிருக்க ஆங்கிளுக்கும் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணா என்ன கிடைக்கும், EMF கிடைக்கும். So okay, so the next topic is motivational EMF. So this is from the second one. Okay, by changing the area by stretching or by shrinking or by changing the shape of the coil. Yes, from the second case, now we are going to study the motivational EMF. As I said already, the EMF stands for electromotive force. EMF means it is nothing but electromotive, like potential difference, electromotive force. Okay, we'll write the definition first and then I'll explain. It is nothing but when the conducting rod is moved in a magnetic field, moved in a constant magnetic field, what happens? If the conducting rod is moved in a constant magnetic field, an EMF is induced. This is a constant magnetic field, so what will happen? An EMF is induced. An EMF is induced. Okay, so this is called motivational EMF. Motivational EMF is nothing but whenever the rod, that is current carrying conductor, not a current carrying conductor, conducting rod. A conducting rod is moved in a uniform magnetic field perpendicular to the plane of it. Okay, so the angle between the magnetic field and the conducting rod is 90 degree. Then it produces the EMF. Okay, so such EMFs are called motivational EMF. Okay, let us consider this is the field. This is the uniform magnetic field. So this is the uniform magnetic field. The field are into the plane. It's a cross field. It is into the plane of the paper. And here we have the rectangular armature. So here this is the movable rod PQ. This is the movable rod PQ. And R and S. This is total frame. On this frame, the PQ alone movable. On this frame, the PQ alone movable into the plane with the velocity V, having the length L. And the strength of the magnetic field at the region is B. Okay, the strength of the magnetic field in the region is B. And this is the frame PQRS, but P and Q alone movable. P and Q alone movable. As I said already, the rod P and Q is moving. The rod is moving to the left hand side. What will happen? From the conductors, the electrons are moving from P to Q. Now the electrons are moving from P to Q. To compensate the electrons, here the opposite charge is induced. What is the charge? Here the positive charge is induced. So plus. So the electron direction is from electron, that is the induced EMF. Electron direction is from clockwise. So if you have a bulb, if you have the bulb will glow. Instead of bulb, if you have a galvanometer, the galvanometer will also show deflections. So here the direction of the induced EMF is in clockwise. So the conventional current produced is the conventional current I. The conventional current produced is in anti-clockwise. Okay. So the pink color one is, what is the pink color one? Direction of the electron in clockwise. and the orange color one is conventional current direction. It is in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so we want to find the EMF first. So first we will find the EMF. So the induced EMF, it is due to EMF is induced. It is due to what? It is due to the motion of charges through magnetic field. It is due to the motion of charges through magnetic field. Magnetic field B. Okay. So if a charge Q moves with the velocity V in a magnetic field, then work done in moving the charge. If a charge Q moves with the velocity, moves with the speed V in magnetic field from where to where? From P to Q, then work done. What is the work done? Work done is equal to force into displacement. Force into displacement. But magnetic Lorentz force we know. What is the magnetic Lorentz force? But the magnetic force already we know for a straight conductor, that is equal to, what is the magnetic force? QVB. Q, it may be a positive or negative charge. So QVB. Then the work done W is equal to QVB into, what is the displacement? PQ. The displacement is PQ, and the PQ's length already mentioned, it is L. So the work done W is equal to QVB into L. Okay, work done is a scalar quantity. Am I right? Okay. So also the EMF induced in this circuit. So the induced EMF, which is equal to, what is the induced EMF? The induced EMF is nothing but it is work done to move the charge. Because it is like a potential difference. So the induced EMF is work done we have calculated, that is QVB into L divided by Q. Therefore EMF induced is VLB or BLV. This is the amount of EMF induced in the circuit. So due to the induced EMF, due to the EMF induced, the electron flows in clockwise direction. So the conventional current flows in anti-clockwise direction, as I said from the figure. So due to the EMF induced, the electron flows in a clockwise direction, and the conventional current flows in anti-clockwise direction. Suppose if you are not moving this conductor, if you are not moving the rod, which means if the velocity is 0, then what is the EMF? EMF also 0. If velocity is 0, then EMF induced also 0. So there must be a relative motion between the field and the conductor, then only EMF induced in the circuit. And the direction of induced EMF can be verified by Fleming's which rule? Right hand rule. So the direction of the induced EMF, that is from the central finger. It is used to verify. So this right hand rule is used to verify the direction of EMF induced in the circuit. Okay. Suppose in the circuit, if R is the resistance in this circuit, if R is the resistance in the loop, what is the loop? PQRS at an instant. If R is the resistance in the loop PQRS at a given instant, suppose in this conductor, if R is the resistance of the loop, because this is a current carrying conductor, but that has some resistance, no? So if R is the resistance of the conductor, resistance of the loop, then EMF induced at a given instant. If R is the resistance of the given loop at a given instant, then what will be the induced current? Then the EMF induced current induced current is, what is the current? I is equal to V by R. Here V is nothing but E by R. But already we found the value of E, that is BLV divided by R. So this is the strength of induced current in the circuit. And this current that flows in a direction, what is the direction of this current? This current always flows in anti-clockwise direction, whereas the EMF in a circuit is clockwise direction. Okay, so this is how we can verify the direction of the induced EMF and also the direction of the induced current. Okay, and next topic is the motivational EMF in relation to the energy conservation, that is power related topic. Okay, that we'll discuss in the next one. Welcome dear students, welcome back to physics class. Okay, so we are in the lesson electromagnetic induction, and last class we have seen the various experiments to produce the EMF, that is induced EMF. So how many ways we can produce EMF? Mainly from Faraday experiment and Henry experiment, and then about the motivational EMF. So motivational EMF is a very simple thing. We have an external magnetic field. In the external magnetic field, this is like cross field, which means the magnetic fields are entering into the plane. Okay, in this region of the external magnetic field, we have the rectangular conductor. In this rectangular conductor, the PQ arm, it have 4 arms: PQ, arm QR, and RS, and arm SP. So we have a 4 arm, but only PQ is movable over this rectangular loop. Okay, so whenever this arm, movable arm PQ moving into the magnetic field with the velocity V, then EMF is induced. What is the EMF induced? So we know that the induced EMF due to the movable arm, induced EMF E is equal to BLV by R. Okay, what is R here? Here R is the resistance of the movable arm. Okay, where B is the magnetic field in the region, L is the length of the movable conductor, and B is the velocity in which it moves, and R is resistance of the movable conductor, resistance of the movable arm PQ. Okay, now we are going to assume that the resistance of the remaining arm, QR and the RS and the SP, that is very negligible compared to PQ. So we are going to assume that the resistance of the remaining arm, what are the remaining arms? The remaining arms QR, RS and the SP are negligible compared to PQ. So when these arms resistance is negligible compared to PQ, then the total resistance, okay, then yes, what is the total resistance of the arm? It is R. Then overall resistance of PQR is R is step R. So here in this case we can determine the induced current. Already we know the direction of the induced current is anti-clockwise. Meanwhile the direction of the electron direction is clockwise. So the EMF induced here is, therefore the induced current I is equal to, what is the current? Current is nothing but from Ohm's law we can use. Current is equal to potential by resistance. But already we know the value of induced EMF, that is BLV by R. Therefore I is equal to BLV by R. And then we can determine the magnetic force of this arm. We can determine the magnetic force on PQ in the magnetic field. Also, the magnetic force on PQ in magnetic field. What is that? F is equal to ILB, no? F is equal to ILB. So I value already we know. What is the I? I is BLV by R into LB. Therefore, the magnetic force of the movable arm, which is equal to B square L square V by R. B square L square V by R. So this is the magnetic force we have found. And next we are going to calculate the this force is opposite to the velocity of PQ. This magnetic force is opposite to the velocity of PQ. Yes, that opposes the motion, no? Therefore, power required to push. Therefore, the power required to push PQ with velocity V. What is the power? Power P is equal to the magnetic force into velocity. Okay. What is the magnetic force? It is B square L square V by R into V. Therefore, power required is B square L square V square by R. We have calculated the power. Okay. So when the conductor is pushed, when the conductor is pushed mechanically, the mechanical energy is dissipated per second. Also, when the conductor is pushed mechanically, the mechanical energy dissipated per second. The mechanical energy dissipated per second. What is it? That is power P is equal to I square R. We know the power relations. What is the I? I already we have. So P is equal to I square value is B square L square V by R square into or else I square, I square R. So the power we have is B square L square V square by R square into R. So R square into R become R cancel. Therefore, power required is, so this power is same as that of the power needed to push. So this is the power needed to push, power required to push. And now we have calculated the power that is mechanical energy dissipated per second is I square R. Okay. So both the powers are same. Both the powers are P square L square V square by R. P square L square V square by R. So this power is same as that of the power needed to push. Therefore, we can say that the mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. So mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. Okay. Note that here the magnetic force that do not do any work, just it is converting the mechanical energy into electrical energy. You don't think that the magnetic force is doing more work. It does not do any work. Just it is changing. It is transforming the energy from one form to another form. That is the mechanical energy that is converted into electrical energy. So this force can be verified by using Fleming's light hand rule or Lenz rule. Okay, I repeat once again. We know from motivational EMF, the EMF induced by the movable arm is BLV by R. Because in the magnetic field, external magnetic field, the length of the conductor L that's moving with the velocity V having the resistance R. So this is the EMF induced by the movable conductor. But other arms in the rectangular conductor remains negligible compared to that of the PQ arm resistance. So the total resistance of this rectangular loop is R. Okay. Therefore, the induced current, what is the induced current, which is opposite to the direction of flow of electron, no? So எப்பவுமே current over direction, electron over direction opposite இருக்கும். So the induced current is, what is the induced current? Current is equal to potential by resistance. That is EMF by resistance. So EMF we know BLV by BLV by R. Okay, and then next the magnetic force on the movable arm PQ. So force is equal to ILB. So force is equal to ILB, but I we know it is BLV by R into LB. So B into B, B square, L into L, L square, then V by R. This is the magnetic force, and this force opposite to the velocity of the movable arm PQ. Okay, now we are going to calculate the power. What is the power required to push the movable arm in this magnetic field, external magnetic field? So the power is nothing but force into velocity. Already we know the magnetic force, that is B square L square V square by R into V. So V into V becomes V square. Okay, and then the conductor is pushed mechanically. The mechanical energy dissipated per second. What is it? Power is equal to I square R. So I value we know it is BLV by R, the whole square into R. So here R square into R, 1 R cancels. So both the powers are similar. So now power we have calculated by dissipation, and the power it is used to push the arm PQ, both also similar. So we can come to the conclusion that the mechanical energy of the movable arm in the external magnetic field is converted into electrical energy. Okay, and note one more thing, the magnetic force that does not do any work, just they do transfer in changing the mechanical energy into electrical energy. I remind you again, the magnetic force that do not do any work, just it transfers the mechanical energy into electrical energy. Okay, now we are moving to the next topic. It is eddy current. What is called eddy? EDDY. It is not any person name. It is nothing but a swirling in waters. You know whirlpool. What is a whirlpool? It's a mixer grinder or a washing machine or refrigerator. No, whirlpool is nothing but, you know, தண்ணில சுழல் வருதுன்னு சொல்லுவோம்ல, அதே மாதிரி கரண்ட்டும் ஒரு சுழல் மாதிரி இருந்தா அததான் என்னன்னு சொல்லுவோம், எடி கரண்ட். ஓகே, தமிழ்ல என்னன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா சுழல் மின்னோட்டம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. எடி கரண்ட், சுழல் மின்னோட்டம், not மின்னூட்டம், மின்னோட்டம். மின்னூட்டம்னா சார்ஜிங். Okay, the next topic is eddy current. EDDY. Actually, this current is also called focal current because he only found this current. So eddy current is also called focal current. So what is the eddy current? Eddy current is like a whirlpool in water. தண்ணில சுழல் வரும்ல, அதே மாதிரி கீழ இருந்து மேல அப்படி சுத்திட்டே போகும்ல. Yes, it's a சுழல் மின்னோட்டம். What is the eddy current? First we'll write the definition and then I'll explain. So it is the current induced in a bulk piece of material, in a bulk pieces of the conductor, not a material, bulk pieces of conductor, when the amount of magnetic flux, linked with the coil changes or linked with the conductor. Here it is conductor, linked with the conductors changes. Okay, so it's a very simple thing. These are the current induced current in a bulk piece of conductors. Current induced in a bulk piece of the conductors when the amount of magnetic flux linked with the conductor changes. எப்பப்பெல்லாம் ஒரு பல்க் பீஸ் ஆஃப் கண்டக்டர் ஒரு மேக்னெட்டிக் ஃப்ளக்ஸோட லிங்க் ஆகுதோ அப்போ அதில் கரண்ட் இன்டியூஸ் ஆகும். அப்படி இன்டியூஸ் ஆகுறதுனால அந்த கண்டக்டர் என்ன ஆகும், இட் பிகின்ஸ் டு மூவ் ஆர் இட் பிகின்ஸ் டு ஆசிலேட் டு அண்ட் ஃப்ரோ ஆர் இட் பிகின்ஸ் டு ரொட்டேட் ஃப்ரம் டாப், லைக் அ டாப் பம்பர் சுத்துற மாதிரி இப்படி சுத்த ஆரம்பிக்கும். ஒன்னா அந்த கண்டக்டர் வந்து இப்படி சுத்தி மேலே எழும்பும், அப்படி இல்லைன்னா முன்னாடி பின்னாடி ஆசிலேட் ஆகும். So this oscillation of the conductor in an external magnetic field due to the change in magnetic flux linked with the bulk piece of the conductor. So in the bulk piece of conductor, the current is induced. Such a currents are called eddy current. So the word eddy means that is swirling eddies in water. தண்ணியில வர நீர் சுழல், நீர் குமிழி சுழல் இப்படி வரும்ல அதே மாதிரி. So the word eddy means swirling eddies in water. Okay. Also, now we are going to calculate the magnitude of this eddy current. The magnitude of the eddy current I is equal to E by R, because the conductor has the resistance. So E value already we know, but from Lenz's law the induced EMF is minus d by dt. Negative sign indicates what? That also we know. Then substitute it. Therefore the eddy current I is equal to, instead of E you substitute this value, minus d by dt divided by R. So this is the eddy current value. Okay. And one more thing, the direction of the eddy current is given by Lenz's law or Fleming's right hand rule. That also. So the direction is given by direction of eddy current is given by Fleming's right hand rule and Lenz's law. Actually here I define the eddy current how. See, this is the magnetic field. In the region of magnetic field, that is from north pole to south pole, there is a bulk piece of conductor is there. If we move the conductor outwards, then what will happen? Again within the conductors the eddy current are induces, which opposes the motions. So the conductor begins to oscillate, or else it may be damped. So basically the eddy current is a current in the conductor. Basically we cannot eliminate the eddy current completely, just we can minimize. Okay, so how to minimize the eddy current and what are the applications of the eddy current in various instruments we are going to see. I repeat once again, how to find this magnitude of the current. So namak already external magnetic field irukku. In the external magnetic field la namakku oru bulk piece of conductor vechirukom. If you are trying to move the plate out of the magnetic field, இந்த plate ஏதோ ஒரு direction நம்ம தள்ளி விடுறோம். இது என்னோட மீன் பொசிஷன்ல கட்டி தொங்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். இப்போ நான் ஒரு பக்கம் புல் பண்றேன், இல்ல இந்த பக்கம் புல் பண்றேன். So whenever the conductor is brought out of the magnetic field, what happens? Due to the relative motion between the magnetic field and the conductor, again the current is induced within the conductor. Again the current is induced within the conductor, which makes them to move up further away from the regions. So this looks like a swirl in water. So that is called eddy current. So the word eddy means swirling in water. Okay, and how to find the magnitude we know, and the direction of this eddy current is found by Fleming's right hand rule or Lenz's rule. In generally the eddy current cannot be eliminated but can be minimized. And before knowing that, how what are the various experiments to set up the eddy current. So now we are moving to experimental demonstration of eddy current. Experimental demonstration of eddy current. So the experimental demonstration, the first one. So we take a long solenoid. And this solenoid need to connect it with a cell and a tap key. Okay, this is a tap key, this is a cell, and this is a long solenoid. Okay, listen. Initially we are placing a small metal disc on the upper end of the solenoid. This is a metal disc. On the upper end of the solenoid we are placing a small metal disc. Now plugging the key, let the circuit to close. The current enters from positive to negative. So this is the direction of the current. So the negative side acts as a north pole here. That is upper end of the solenoid. So this side acts as a south pole. So due to the sudden change in the magnetic flux, the key is closed. Okay, the metal disc that experience an induced EMF. Due to the induced EMF, the lower end of the disc act as a north pole. So north and north repulse. Due to this, the metal disc begins to move upwards. புரியுதுங்களா? இது ஒரு disc. So this is a disc. This is solenoid or electromagnet. இப்போ key நம்ம close பண்ணோனே, this is how the direction of the current. So this side acts as a south pole and the upper end is act as a north pole. இதுக்கு மேல நம்ம வெச்சிருக்க டிஸ்க் என்ன ஆரம்பிக்கும்னா அப்படியே சுழல ஆரம்பிக்கும். எதனாலனா due to the change in magnetic flux with the conductor and the bulk piece of the material. Okay, so this is the conductor, this is the magnetic field. Suppose there is a relative motion between the magnetic field and the bulk piece of the material. In the disc, the lower portion act as a north pole. Already this is north, so north and north repulse. So due to that, it begins to thrown upwards. So அப்படியே நம்ம டேப் கீயை பிரஸ் பண்ணி மாத்த நமக்கு அது அப்படியே மேலேயே நின்னுட்டு அந்த இடத்துல அப்படியே சுத்திட்டு இருக்க மாதிரி இருக்கும். Because here eddy currents are induced. So this is one experimental setup. Then the second one, listen. So this is the magnetic field. Between this permanent magnetic field, just you suspend a conductor, a rectangular conductor. This rectangular conductor is suspended on a rigid support. Okay. Now, it's very simple things. Imagine this is not a permanent magnetic pole, this is an electromagnet. Okay, imagine this is an electromagnet. The field lines from north pole to south pole. Is it so? So due to this field lines, so due to the electromagnetic field lines, this is the plate. So this is the plate. So when the magnetic field is off, the plate, when the magnetic field is off, what happens? The plate disturbed and left oscillate. And it start oscillate. சொல்றது புரியுதுங்களா? இனிஷியலா வந்து எலக்ட்ரோமேக்னெட்ல நம்ம கீ ஓபன்ல இருக்கு. அப்போ மேக்னெட்டிக் ஃபீல்டே இல்ல. சோ அப்போ டக்குன்னு நம்ம மேக்னெட்டிக் ஃபீல்ட கட் பண்ணோனே என்ன ஆகும்? பிளேட் அந்த ரெண்டுக்கு ரீஜன் நடுவுல என்ன ஆகும்? டு அண்ட் ஃப்ரோ ஆசிலேட் ஆக ஆரம்பிக்கும். டக்குன்னு நம்ம கீ போட்டோனே நமக்கு மேக்னெட்டிக் ஃபீல்ட் வந்து ப்ரொடியூஸ் ஆகும். அப்ப இந்த பிளேட் கண்டக்டர்ங்கிற இந்த பிளேட் மேக்னெட்டிக் ஃபீல்ட் வச்சிருக்கோமா? அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்னா அப்படி சடனா ஆசிலேட் ஆகிட்டு ஃபோர்ஸா வைப்ரேட் ஆயிட்டு டேம்ப் ஆகி ரெஸ்ட்டுக்கு வந்துடும். சப்போஸ் இஃப் magnetic field is on, what happens? Yes, the vibration of the plates are damped and stop oscillates. Vibration of plates are damped and stop oscillate. இப்போ ஏன் இது ஸ்டாப் ஆகுதுன்னா due to eddy current developed in it. This is the direction of eddy current. So this is the direction of eddy current. So whenever there is a magnetic field, the plate stop oscillates due to the damping. If in the presence of magnetic field only, the damping happens. If magnetic field is suddenly off, then the damping is reduced and again the plate begins to oscillate. So the oscillation response will also due to eddy current induces inside the metal plates. Then one more things. இதுவே என்ன பண்ண போறோம்னா மாடிஃபை பண்ண போறோம். இந்த பிளேட்ல வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா நம்ம ஸ்லாட் வைக்க போறோம். What is a slot? Listen. These are the slots. Small cuttings like. Okay, these are the slots. So when the slots are present, then the eddy current can be minimized. Then it does not oscillate. So the damping can be minimized by making a slots. So அப்ப நமக்கு முன்னாடி இருக்க கேஸை விட இந்த கேஸ்ல நமக்கு என்ன ஆகும், எடி கரண்ட மினிமைஸ் பண்ணலாம். So அதனால நம்ம அடுத்த ஒரு டாபிக்ல how many way we can minimize the eddy currents. Basically eddy current cannot be eliminated completely, we can minimize. So these are the three experimental setup to understand the eddy currents. Okay. One more thing I forgot to say, in the previous case without slots what happens, the area is high. This is the area without slot, but in this case the area is less. Here area is minimized. Then so the area with the slot is less compared to the area without slots. Sir, already நமக்கு magnetic dipole moment தெரியும், I is equal to NIA. So அப்ப நமக்கு area reduce ஆச்சுன்னா magnetic moment reduce ஆகும். If magnetic moment reduce, then also the induced eddy current also minimize. So comparing the plates with the slots, with the slots, the eddy current is less comparing to the without slots. அப்ப நமக்கு ஏரியா அதிகமா இருந்தா eddy current அதிகமா இருக்கும், ஏரியா கம்மியா இருந்தா eddy current கம்மியா இருக்கும். அதனால தான் நமக்கு இத ஸ்லாட்ஸா பண்ணிருக்காங்க. சின்ன சின்ன ப்ளீட்ஸ் அந்த ஒரு ஷார்ப்பா ரம்பம் மாதிரி ஸ்லாட்ஸா பண்ணிருக்காங்க. புரிஞ்சதுங்களா? ஓகே.